Do you have a new sink and you don't know how to connect the drain? I'm going to teach you step by step how to install the drain. Also how to change even one valve that if it's bad, I'm going to teach you how to fix it. Now we're going to start working with the drain. So as you can see here, you see this part over there, that is the seal that goes against the sink, and now we are going to put the nut, and then we are going to use this the seal, so that way it will keep it in place. So that way you will see once I put it once I screw it in, it will stay in place, it will not fall. Both nuts, one because it's against the sink, the drain, and the other one is it has the seal that I just told you before. As you can see, that is how it's going to stay in place, and that will work just fine. Now we have to take some measurements. As you can see, we are going to put this pipe, and then we are going to cut it just maybe we're going to leave maybe one inch or half an inch inside. That is going to be inside of the pipe, and that's it. So we're going to use the multi-tool, and that should do the trick. There we go. It's always to leave it better to leave it a little bit longer than too short. So if you think it's too short, it's too long, you always have time to cut it a little bit more. But as you can see now, all you have to do is the same thing on the other side. You have to unscrew it, and then you have to make sure that it's going to fit just fine. Otherwise, we have to cut it. Now, as you can see, it's a little bit longer than expected, so we're going to take it out, and then we're going to cut it maybe half an inch. There you go. Now we are going to take the measurements. Let's see. Fits great. Nice. All right. So now we can start working on the other things. Make sure, in this case, you put the nut first, and then you see the seal. We're going to leave it like that. Nice. You don't have to tighten it all the way because we are still making sure that everything is in place with the measurements, and if we have to cut more, we can do it later. So now we're going to try to work on the P-trap. As you can see, there we go. Also, we may have to cut it later. Also the same thing, so we put the nut first, and then the seal later, so that way it will stay in place, and then we have to start working with the rest and make sure that we have the right measurement for everything. There you go. You can, pull it down, screw it in a little bit, and you will see. Now we're going to try to see how we can put the other drain inside of the drain that is in the wall. So we're going to remove this, and we're going to try to see how we can make it fit, because we will have to remove that rubber pipe that you see over there. But at least I need to take measurements and make sure that everything will be good. As you can see, it's a little bit shorter, so we will have to cut the main pipe that is going down, you have two type of P-trap. So in this case, we're going to use the second one. So as you can see, we're going to remove this. So we're going to remove the screw of the hose clamp. Alright, now that is gone, we can see which one is going to fit better. Alright, before we continue, I'm going to remove the old water valve that is bad, so that way is not going to be on the way, you know, because if I finish putting all the drain and everything, it's going to be on the way, so it will be easier if I do it right now. So all we have to do is just we have to use this pipe cutter that you see. We put it on top of the pipe, and then all you have to do is just start spinning it. Spin it until you start seeing water. Of course, you have to cut the water that you have in the entrance of the house or from the water meter. In this case, I have done that. Also, I always like to leave open all the faucets of the rest of the house, but you know, sometimes you have water in the pipeline. So also what you can do is you can put like a small bucket if you can, so that way you're not going to have water everywhere. Also it will protect the cabinet a little bit more. And now because for some reason still I'm getting water everywhere, I'm going to put the valve, and that should close it, and that should do the trick. So that is why I like this type of push-in connectors that you see, or the shark bite, and that's it. So that way you don't have to whale or anything like that. Just push it in, and that's it. Make sure when you cut it with the cutter, the good thing about that is that the connection is always good, and you don't have to worry, you know, about filing the size of the pipe or anything like that. So in this case, I removed the drain, you know, so that way it's going to be a little bit more comfortable. Now I have to plug in the water hose that goes to the faucet on top of that, and then we can just screw it in, as you can see here. That's it. And after that, you have to use the adjustable wrench to adjust it, but do not over tight it. You don't want to damage anything. So make sure you do that. Try to dry everything as much as possible, so that way if you have some leaks, some water, it will not ruin the cabinet, like I said before. Now we are set, so now we can start working on the rest. Alright, now we are going to unplug the hose, so that way we can start working on this project. It's very easy. This with the adjustable wrench, that will be enough. As you can see, that little rubber seal that you see inside, that is all. If you see that means that you don't have to put the Teflon tape or the plumber's tape. So make sure that you know that in advance for everything. That will help you. Now we're going to adjust it back, so the way you can see, and that's it. Another trick, as you can see, if you start getting a kink, you can hold it with your hand, as you can see, and then you can start adjusting it, and you can use the adjustable wrench once again. The only thing that you have to keep in mind, don't over tight it. You don't want to destroy the thread. That's it. The same thing with the other water hose. Now we're going to adjust the other one. Just in the beginning you can start with your hand, and after that you can use the tool, and that's it. Like I said before, do not over tighten it. Now, as you can see, in this case the weight is in the wrong place. It should be on the other side, because that side that you see over there, that is for the faucet that goes inside of the sink. So now we are going to use just the Phillips screwdriver, and then you move it to the other end. Now I'm going to show you so that way you can see. You have to be a little bit above the curl that you see over there, and that should be enough. Now we are going to try to pull it from the other end so that way you can see that. As you can see, it goes up, goes down, up and down. There you go. Success. Now I'm going to cut it, as you can see. Like I said, always leave it a little bit longer. Always you have time to cut more. Just remove all the edges, the plastic that was kind of melt, so that way it will be soft, and then we can put the P-trap again, and that this time I think it should be good. Otherwise we can cut it a little bit more. Make sure that it fits. There we go. I think we have the right size. Yes, we don't have to put any seal in this case, as you can see here, but I will have to use both hands in order to be able to put the thread, to screw it in on the thread of the other pipe. What you can do is you can take it out and you can try to screw it outside, but I think it's going to be more difficult to put it later. But at least you have to make sure that everything is tight. There you go. Yep. But we will have to remove it because it's not going to fit. I'm not going to be able to put it the way it should be. But at least you know that it's going to work. Or otherwise you have to cut it more. So I prefer to leave it a little bit longer, just in case. You do this once and it should be good. As you can see, it's long. So maybe we can just try to cut it a little bit more and see if we can make it fit. Otherwise I'll take it apart and then I'll put it back. There you go. Alright, here we are going to use the multi-tool once again. We are going to cut it a little bit. Also remove the the little pieces of plastic. Now, as you can see, still too long, but I think I'm going to take it out, and then I'm going to put the nut back again, and that's it. There you go. Now you extend it a little bit. Make sure that it's completely flat and everything should fit just good. This, all you have to do is just hand tight it. You don't have to use any monkey wrench or anything like that. Now I'm going to use this because the customer doesn't want to spend that much in my time, so he doesn't have the parts either. But I have done this before and it works just fine. So if you want to use it, all you have to do is put some. This is dry, as you can see. So now I have to try to use the drill to remove all the dry silicone. But what I was trying to say is just you can put a little bit of silicone around the area where it's fitting, at least if you have a case like this. Otherwise, you should have a kind of a nut like you see in the other places. That's it. So you put a little bit the silicone around it, it will work just fine. Alright, now I have the silicone. In this case I have this brown silicone, but you can use, if you want to, a clear one, whatever you want. So it looks kind of like poop, but it's not. So I have the caulk gun, as you can see, at least to put it around it, and it works. It will last for years and years. This type of silicone is for outdoor, so just make sure that everything is covered properly, and you should be good. So you won't have any issue. Otherwise, you have to try to get an adapter or something to do the job, so that way you have something to screw it in instead of having it like that. But that will be for another video. Okay, now I forgot to put the nut inside of the other side, so that is why I had to take it apart. But it's easy. So in this case, as you can see, all clean. You don't have to deal with the all dirty ones. So put the nut, and that's it. So now we have to put it in. Here with this type of thing, you don't have any water pressure or anything like that, so that is why you can use this type of connectors. Otherwise, the story will be different. But as you can see, now we have the nuts, everything in place. Good. Right, we were having some issues here, so I put the silicone and everything is good here. I'm going to show you exactly the same thing here, because as you can see here on the thread, you see a little bit of water, but we have to have zero water, no water at all. So because they have like a weird seal here, and we will have to remove it. So now I'm going to show you how to do this, and you will be safe. Because if you do things wrong, the customer will call you again, and you don't want to come back here or any other place, because you didn't do it properly. Always take a little bit more time, but make sure that everything is good. Then I'm going to untie this, and there you go. Now it's loose. So now let's keep doing this. All right, now we can take it out. All right, now it's loose. I don't know why this is all brand new, but they're using this weird silicone or something like that. This silicone that never dries out. So at least with this customer, every time I go to one of his apartments, always I end up doing this. Because I don't know, maybe the other guy didn't know what he was doing. That is for sure. Otherwise, you should have some kind of seal. Usually, it's a paper seal that you should have here. But if you don't have that, you can use silicone. I have done this in the past. I use silicone and it works great. So if you can, use silicone that dries out in 30 minutes. So now we are going to clean all this up. And this has been like that for weeks. So if it didn't dry out in so long, it will not dry out, never. All right. All right. So once this is clean, now we can put some glue. So in this case, I'm using this, but you can use anything that will dry in 15, 30 minutes, something like that. So this is almost gone. So otherwise I have to go to Home Depot to buy the seal. It's kind of far away. By doing this, it does the trick. I have done it before, and like I said before, the only thing that you have to care about is cleaning up later after you finish with this, and you should be good. So this will do a perfect seal. Like that. And it's almost dry already. So all you have to do is put it back. And that's it. And if you have a little bit remaining, something around this, you can use a plastic knife to cut it. Everything will be nice and clean. Now, I have my fingers. Now we should be good. So now we have to go to the other side. Let's go down. All right, as you can see, we have everything here. Have to squeeze it a little bit more. We have this. We're going to put it back. I'm using these pliers that you see here. These are the Milwaukee. They're amazing. Those are the best I ever had. I had, even Stanley, but these are much, much better. Right, so now, make sure that everything we should be good. All right, as you can see, it was a success. We don't have any leak or anything like that, so everything is great. Make sure pay attention to the thread. We should be good. So everything is good. There is no leak anywhere, even here where I put all the silicone around it because I didn't have the adapter. But if you can buy the adapter, buy the adapter. Otherwise, if you're in this type of situation, just put the silicone and you should be good.